house was on fire, God forbid, and I could only pick 3 bags to run out of the house with, of course my kids and dogs would come first. If you would ever consider putting a Labubu on your Hermès bag, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you're not. My name is Cece. Today we're going to talk about my top 3 handbags. If I could only choose 3 bags from my collection, which 3 would they be? How does this help you? Which top 3 handbags are the most investment worthy? So hopefully today's video will help you make an informed decision when you're thinking about purchasing a designer or luxury handbag. As we know, they can be quite costly, and I'd hate for you to spend your money on a bag that's really not worth it. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Drop a comment, say hi, and go ahead and put your guesses on what my top 3 handbags would be. If you've seen my collection, and if you haven't seen my collection, I'm gonna link that video for you guys down below in the description box. But if you've already seen my collection, which 3 do you think I'm going to choose that will be featured in today's video? Go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram as well, where I post daily so you can see how I'm styling these beautiful handbags. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. So I figured I would start with a little bit of story time before we dive into which handbags are my top 3. I didn't start purchasing luxury designer handbags until I was well into my 30s. Prior to that, I was working my way up the corporate ranks. I was a single mom for many years, and designer handbags were really just not top of mind or priority for me. I always admired them and enjoyed them from afar, but unfortunately it wasn't a time in my life where I could invest in these high ticket items. Having established myself a little bit, made some investments that I thought were priority in my life at the time, I decided why not venture into the designer handbag realm and start purchasing my own designer bags. So my very first designer handbag purchase was actually the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the largest size, the GM. I remember walking into the Louis Vuitton store on a weekend shopping with a girlfriend, and I said, you know what? I need a good work bag that is an investment piece that I will use on a day-to-day basis that can carry my books, work essentials, all of my items. In fact, I think I might have been in my late 20s actually, when I was working but still going to school part-time to try and finish up my college degree. And at the time I was working in corporate New York, and the New York City woman's uniform was none other than Tory Burch flats and a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. So I went ahead and I purchased the handbag. I think at the time it was retailing for $950 if I'm not mistaken. This was about 15 years ago, maybe? So I purchased the bag and I wore that bag to no end. That was my very first designer handbag purchase, and I wore that bag to the ground. I'm trying to think of what my second handbag purchase was. I actually can't remember. It's always the first that gets us, right? But anyway, I went ahead and I purchased my Louis Vuitton Neverfull. I still have that bag. I probably will never get rid of that bag. I use it more as a travel piece or a luggage piece now. I haven't used it as often because I have the Goyard St. Louis tote in 2 colors in the largest size. So I just tend to gravitate towards those bags, but that bag has really been very well worn. She's got stains, she's got peeling going on. The leather is very well patinaed. It is just very worn in and loved. That's really what started my love for handbags and my handbag journey. I really can't remember what my second designer handbag purchase was, and it's really going to bother me. But today's video is about which top 3, if I could only keep 3, which ones would they be? I'm gonna go ahead and get started with one that you probably wouldn't guess, but it's my Chanel classic flap in the caviar leather, size medium with silver hardware. Now, they don't make this size by name anymore. Chanel no longer has a Chanel classic flap medium on their website. It's now called the 11.12 size, but this is the medium double classic flap with the red interior, which I absolutely adore and love. Now, if you don't already know the story behind this handbag, I purchased this bag pre-loved from Fashionphile. It did not come with the Chanel authenticity card, but it was authenticated by Fashionphile. I post my full experience having the bag re-authenticated by a third party by the name of Zico. I was actually interviewed by the Wall Street Journal by a reporter who interviewed and spent time with Zico going through her process of authenticating Chanel bags. I'll include both videos for you guys in the description box. I think you'll find them quite interesting. I went ahead and had this bag authenticated. Yes, she's authentic. She's not a fake, but it was a close call there. And I share in the video why I thought this bag might have been a replica or a fake. I've had this bag now for, gosh, when did I purchase this bag? 4 years ago? It might have been at the start of my YouTube channel. So maybe in 2022, fall or winter of 2022. It's now 2025 at the time that I'm filming this video. So we're coming up on my 3-year anniversary. We should celebrate. We should comment down below if you think we should throw a celebration or a little party to celebrate and commemorate my 3-year mark on YouTube. What do you guys think? I think it's a good idea. Personally, I think this bag is a wonderful investment piece. It is a classic handbag that will never go out of style. Say what you want about Chanel, say what you want about the classic flap, but it will never go out of style. I will say I highly recommend purchasing pre-loved. You can find so many Chanel classic flaps pre-loved in great condition. I'm gonna link some for you guys down below from my Shop My. I am always scouring Fashion File and other resale markets, and if I come across a really good resale that I myself would invest in, I will definitely share it with you. So check out the links down below in the description box. I was actually looking last night and found some really wonderfully priced classic flaps. The Chanel classic flap now retails for well over $10,000. I purchased this bag for $7,000 pre-loved off of Fashion File. Mint condition. When I tell you mint, not a single dent, not a single scratch. I mean, it is caviar, so it's less likely to get scratched, but it is in mint condition. Not one stitch is popped. No ink marks, no stains, no smells, nothing like that. The hardware is pristine, no scratches. The one thing I will say, the reason I got this bag at such a great price is likely to be because it didn't come with a Chanel authenticity card. To me, as long as I've had the bag authenticated, and in this case I had it authenticated by someone outside of Fashion File, that's more than enough to know that it's authentic, it's real. I'm not planning on reselling the bag. Having the authenticity card may come into play if you are planning to resell the item down the line. I'm not planning on letting this bag go ever, so I'm okay with not having the card. So you are more likely to get a really great price on a Chanel without a card. The other thing I will say is if you're purchasing a non-neutral or non-classic color, anything other than black and maybe beige, you're likely to get a great price. So if you're looking at pink, blue, gray, literally any other Chanel classic flap that isn't black, you're probably going to get a much better price. But on the flip side, if it's pre-loved and it is a vintage piece, you're likely to get a better quality one as well. We know that Chanel has undergone scrutiny as of late for some quality concerns. People are saying that their quality just isn't the same. Folks are purchasing brand new classic flaps from the boutique and noticing some significant quality issues and concerns. So I would say purchase pre-loved, buy vintage. You're often more than likely going to get a better quality piece. This piece is from the early 2000s, so not vintage per se, but I don't know, when do you consider vintage? Like, is it 2011? I mean, I'm vintage, right? I was born in 1980. Outside of that, I really don't consider the early 2000s vintage, but I know many watching this may argue with me and feel the opposite, but that's okay. I'm aging myself. Anyway, Chanel classic flap. I'll never let go of this bag. It's just, she's a beauty. She's just so well made. I've had no quality concerns, no issues. I don't have a bag insert at the moment. She's just a beauty. And the best part is this one is a made in France piece, which I really like. You can see that there, made in France. I've actually thought about getting a new Chanel classic flap, pre-loved actually, not new, from Fashion File or The Real or otherwise. And I'm thinking about getting a nice fun color. I'm just not sure what color. Comment down below, let me know if you own any Chanel classic flaps. What's your experience been? Do you have a vintage piece or do you have a new piece? And if you purchased new from the boutique within the last 5 years or so, what's your experience been? Did you decide to purchase new for one reason or the other? Or is there a reason you just decided not to go pre-loved? But needless to say, if I could only pick 3 bags, this would be definitely one of them. The next bag I think will come at no surprise to you. I think most of you will probably guess this bag. You probably visualized it already, but if you're new around here and you haven't seen any of my videos before, you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that I recently scored a Birkin, but not just any Birkin, a shoulder Birkin 29. Let's take a moment to admire this beauty. Isn't she cute? This is in the taupe color with gold hardware, which is one of my favorite color combinations from Hermès. I do have this beautiful little bag charm or Pegasus that I was able to score on Shengshou. I'll include a link to their website down below along with my discount code where you can sign up with a discount to receive Hermès bag drop and accessory drop alerts online. Shengshou has been a fabulous partner. They were the reason I was able to score my garden party 30. Let me know if you want to see an update or a video on the garden party. I was able to score this beautiful Pegasus, which I am in love with. I love that she's pink. She's got three of my favorite colors. She's got the pink, she's got the butter yellow, the very pastel butter yellow, and the brown. Three of my favorite colors, and I think she pairs so well. I've got a whole video on being offered the shoulder Birkin, how long after my first quota bag was I offered this bag, how I got this bag. This would be my absolute second handbag of all the handbags in my collection that I would take and run for obvious reasons. I mean, if you could only have one Birkin, like literally just one in whatever size, I would opt for the shoulder size. It is a perfect size. She is like petite enough to be similar to a 25, but she literally fits all your essentials. I've been able to fit my vlogging camera, my DJI, my wallet, my keys, my phone, my makeup, my essentials. I even have a bag organizer inside. I've got a bulky sunglass case in here, and she fits everything. All of my essentials, but she's still small enough where I could bring her to dinner and not feel like I'm bringing an entire like handbag with me. She's also got a fun sort of edge to her. Wearing her with jeans, I think in the fall will be quite fun, but I've worn her with a lot of my dresses in the summer, brought her on vacation, we brought her on a road trip, and she's just been fabulous. So this is definitely going to be my second bag that I would take and run. The last handbag or third handbag on my list that I would take from my entire collection. Put your comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what your last guess was. And if you are with me so far, I'm curious to know, did you guess right on the first two, or were you completely off? Were there any other bags in my collection you thought should have been on this list that aren't? I mean, I do have like the Eveline, my Loro Piana, my Gucci Horsebit, my Bottega Hop, although I've been thinking about letting go of my Bottega Hop bag recently because I just don't reach for her enough. I can't wear her as a shoulder bag. She just doesn't sit quite right. So I'm thinking about getting the Jody, but we'll see. If you guessed it, it's none other than my Hermès Birkin 30 in the gold Togo leather with palladium hardware. This was my first Hermès bag, my first quota bag. I absolutely adore her. She is a classic staple that I know will remain relevant and in style for many years to come. I can see myself wearing this bag well into my 60s and 70s. Let's pray to God that we last that long, right? Live a long, happy, healthy life. But I can see myself wearing this bag for many years to come. I hope to hand this bag down to my granddaughter one day, should I have one. It's my first rodeo. I think it's pronounced rodeo, not rodeo, but let me know in the comment section. My SA has said rodeo, although I've heard people say rodeo, like Rodeo Drive, but I think it's pronounced rodeo. As well as the Twilly. The Twilly was actually put on by my sales associate and I haven't taken it off since. I did purchase the matching Twilly to go on the front, but I took it off and just kind of wear it like so. I do love the way the Twillies look. I've been thinking about investing in more Twillies and more Pegasus and Rodeos to accessorize my bags. I think they're really fun. Birkins are so versatile because, and Kellys as well, you can dress them up with Twillies, you can dress them up with accessories and little bag charms. This is it. This is my beauty. I get happy every time I hold her, as does my shoulder Birkin. They both just bring me joy. I know, it's sad, but these are the bags that bring me joy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please, please, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps my channel. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I'm going to leave an additional video for you guys at the end that I think you'll really, really enjoy. Don't forget to check out the description box below where I include additional videos for you guys. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, bye guys.